Hey, what's up? I'm John Paramore, and this is 3 ways to hire sales reps on straight commission. All right, we get this question all the time. How can I find and hire sales reps that want to work straight commission? So I'm going to break this down for you today and give you 3 ways on exactly how to do it. But I want to preface it a little bit and let you guys know most high-performing sales reps that want to work straight commission, that actually want to work straight commission, want a couple things to exist prior to you reaching out to them and trying to hire them, right? They want, number one, good leadership and strong culture inside the organization. Why would they want that? Imagine if you were a high-performing sales guy and you're leaving a job where you've got some security, you got some guarantee going on, you got some leads coming in, all those good things, and then you decide to go work for somebody else that wants you to work straight commission, and the culture and the environment is not great. The leadership's core is not great. Their capacity and ability to fulfill on what you're selling at a high clip is not that great. You got to understand, guys that want to work straight commission understand the sky is the limit. That's why they're willing to take the risk and work straight commission. They also understand that a lot of it relies on them and the people they go to work for. So as me, who has been a straight commission sales rep, I would never mind doing that in the right culture and the right environment where a couple things exist. Number one, I can go in and write as much business as I want with an uncapped commission potential. Okay, like nobody's ever going to change my commission structure. Nobody's ever going to tell me that I'm making too much money. And number two, the other big thing that has to exist is the company that I'm working for has to be able to fulfill what I sell expeditiously. They got to do it quick. And they got to do it accurately, because I never want what I'm selling to be impacted or affected because their inability to fulfill, okay? So as long as those things exist, got good leadership, good culture going on, you got a good core of exactly what's going on, there's clarity in what you're selling, it's easy to sell, there's people to sell it to, all these things exist, and the company's capacity or your capacity to fulfill the product at a very fast level while keeping it very, very accurate is in place. If you have all that, then you're going to be able to take these 3 methods that I'm about to give to you and actually hire sales reps on straight commission. Okay, if you're missing those things, I'm going to tell you right now, as a guy who also owns a recruiting agency that sources regularly high-performing salespeople who are willing to work on straight commission, they will not make the jump. It's too big of a risk for them to jump from where they are, where they might have a small base, to straight commission to work for you at a high level if you don't kind of have all your stuff together. So you got to make sure the company in itself, before you even start sourcing these guys, the company in and of itself is lights out. Now, probably you're saying, John, so what do I do if I don't have all these things together, but I need salespeople? What I would strongly tell you is slow down to go fast. Slow down, get those components in place, because otherwise you're going to deal with a high amount of turnover. You're going to deal with constant turnover, right? If guys don't feel like that they could win on a regular basis, they're going to come into the environment. The culture's not going to be great. They're not going to stay very long. They're going to bolt, okay? All of that being said, let's now go into the 3 ways and the three processes that we use to find high-performing sales reps that are willing to work for commission. Number one, I like to say that in order to get a sales rep to come work for me, I have to earn the right to get him to come to work for me. I believe in what is known as the attraction method. I want to attract them into the environment. How do I attract them into the environment? A lot of different ways. You guys have access to some of the greatest tools on the planet. You guys have access to social media. You guys have access to job boards. You guys have access to networking groups. You guys have access to sales reps out in the open. You guys have a huge array of places where you can actually go and attract better sales reps to your organization. Now, you got to make sure you're presentable. You got to make sure everything's clean, everything's clear, everything's concise. And that's what's going to be the process that these guys get attracted to. They're looking at you, they're looking at your brand, they're looking at everything that you have together, and they're attracted to, there's something about it that they're attracted to. So it might be your core values. It might be the clarity that you have in the mission about where your organization is going. It might be the other people that work for you talking about how great the organization is. That's attracting high-performing sales reps in. You cannot go about trying to find a high-performing sales rep that wants to work for straight commission just by running ads on job boards. It's not going to be enough. You're actually going to have to learn how to attract these guys in. The only other way that you might be able to do it is to go source those guys direct. Go to the competitor where they're already working, find out what the environment is like inside that organization, take something that might not be working very well, create the opposite of that thing, get those guys to leave there and come work for you, okay? Number two, the second most common way that we use to attract commission-only salespeople is by referral. Okay, so we've got other people inside the organization, or we've got other people outside the organization that know about our organization. They refer them directly to us. And what you need to have is some of the stuff that I talked about before. There's clarity in exactly what's going on in the organization. There's a process of what's going on in the organization, and other people who have worked for you or people that know you can come in contact with those commission-only sales reps and say, you know what? It might be a good idea that you and John have a conversation about what it looks like to go to work for him, okay? And I want to tell you, part of the biggest thing as it comes to the referral side of it is they got to know that you pay fast. They got to know that you pay well. So a really well-designed compensation structure in that section helps a lot of those things. If these guys think that, oh, I'm taking a big risk, but the reward is also really big. They have a great compensation structure. They've got people that like them. I've been referred to the organization. The comp plan in and of itself is legit. I can make a truckload of money going over there. I'm willing to take the risk. I trust my own ability. I'm going to go with them, okay? The third and final method that you guys can use to bring in sales reps that will work commission only is to have a big pipeline full of lead generation. If you become a lights out lead generator, if you can generate leads on social media, if you can generate leads using direct mail, if you can generate leads using referrals, if you can generate leads in any amount of way, and you just have a truckload of leads coming into your organization, I can promise you, as a guy who sources commission-only sales reps on a regular basis, these guys will flock to you because you've created an opportunity for them to get in and quickly ramp up and build up a pipeline of people that they can contact and actually do sales with or for. And that's a big deal to these guys. If they feel like that they could come to you and you've got your stuff together, the organization inside the company is great, all of the stuff, moving parts inside the company are great, and you've got leads coming out of your ears, these guys are going to want to come and start closing for you. Okay, and they're willing to take that risk because from a commission standpoint only, because you've got leads. You've got a truckload of people reaching out to you that want to do business with you, which typically means the reputation of the company is solid, which typically means you're delivering a really great product. That's, again, an attraction style of method. I'm attracted to you because you got a truckload of leads coming in, and I want to come in and close those leads for you, okay? So one free bonus tip I want to actually give to you too. Now, when you take the challenge to go find commission-only sales reps, what I would strongly suggest to you is you not go find the guy who's worked for a gazillion people. I see this as a very common mistake. I see a lot of people do this where it's like, here's a commission-only guy. He's willing to work straight commission and come into your organization. You're probably saying to yourself, well, what do I care if he's worked for a bunch of different companies and he's willing to take the risk commission only? Those guys never pan out. There's a reason why they're coming into your organization. It's most likely to see what you're doing, to see what's going on inside the organization, so they can either go off and create it themselves, or they can gather a whole bunch of data, take that with them to the next move and apply it inside the next move, right? So you got to understand, it's almost like them coming in and gathering free data to be able to take all that stuff with them and just kind of move on as you guys go forward. So you also want to watch out for personality traits. You want to watch out for certain things inside of the who they are as people when you're hiring those types of people, commission-only people, to make sure that they're not going to jack up or mess with your brand or culture or everything else you guys have going on. So to recap from all the way what we were talking about at the very beginning, you got to get your stuff together. You got to make sure the organization is tight and right and all the processes and procedures are good to go. You got to make sure that you guys have a strong attraction method coming into the organization. You got to make sure you got people that have either worked for you or currently work for you or know about you, referring commission-only people to you and talking about how great you are. So it's kind of like a social proof type of deal. And the third section is you got to make sure your lead gen side is lights out. One of the other videos that we've done here inside of this YouTube channel is talk about how to generate leads in a lot of different ways. I highly suggest you guys go over to that video and watch that if that's a struggle for you, okay? So if you want commission-only sales reps in your organization, these are the 3 top ways that we go about attracting those guys. Good luck to you, all that good stuff. Bye-bye.